this evening, afternoon, evening. Welcome. Thank you for coming. We are excited, we're excited that you're here to be part of Vancouver Fashion Week's very first Most Impactful Person Award. And yes. And today we are honoring the wonderful Peggy Morrison. My name is Shireen Haas, and I'm thrilled to be here alongside Melanie Watts, who has been so instrumental in making all of this happen, and Jamal, founder of Vancouver Fashion Week, who had the vision and the platform to create this award and to honor an incredible person, Peggy Morrison. A little bit about myself. I'm a graduate from Blanche Macdonald in 1995. Yes, you heard correct, 1995. Where I studied fashion merchandising, which is what it was called back then. And I was taught by the honoree, Peggy Morrison, who was an incredibly invested teacher. And she nurtured my passion for fashion and creating fashion shows. That was my thing. For many years, I coordinated fashion shows until I veered off and I went into another platform, and that will be the film industry. And I decided to act, and that's another story altogether. But throughout the decades, even though I transitioned into another area, Peggy Morrison always came to the forefront of my mind. I often thought, I wonder what she's doing. Is she still teaching? She was such an incredible person. She made such an impression on my life. And it was here a year ago at Fashion Week Vancouver. I was out in the foyer and I had the pleasure to encounter and chat with Peggy Morrison after almost 30 years. And I was thrilled to bits. I was tickled pink, and I mentioned to Jamal later, I said, oh my God, I think the reason why I was meant to go to Vancouver Fashion Week was to meet Peggy Morrison. And he concurred. He said, you know, wonderful things about Peggy. And later on, we had a chat, and it was basically, he said, you know, I travel a lot, and you know, he travels a lot around the world. He said he encountered former Blanche Macdonald students who are doing incredible things in this world. And Peggy Morrison's name came up often. And this sparked the idea of honoring someone who's made such a positive impact on many people's lives and someone who is completely unforgettable. And with that being said, this could not have been done with someone really wonderful as well, Melanie Watts. Without her, this could not have been done. So I'm going to pass on the mic to her.
Thank you, Shireen. I probably don't need a microphone. I'm going to keep this a little away from my mouth. Most of you know me as the career director at Blanche Macdonald, but I once was a student as well in 97, 98. And Peggy was also one of my mentors. At the time, we didn't have a career director, and Peggy was instrumental in starting me to work with my very first stylist as an assistant. And within a year, I was doing jobs that I had no business doing. So Peggy started my career, especially in a field where you couldn't get a stylist to return a phone call in those days. So I then went on to work with Peggy, both as an instructor, and I ran the agency for a little while. But Peggy's a little more to me than just a colleague. She's also, herself and Jim have been a really big part of my life and my son's life. I like to think of them as surrogate parents almost. But at the end of the day, Peggy Morrison, without fail, is always the person that people mention when they mention their time at Blanche Macdonald. Her classes are unforgettable. The impact she makes has been unforgettable for years now, and we have just decided to finally honor her. So today you're going to see some wonderful videos from those grads we're talking about that have been working all over the world, who are top of their field, not just in Vancouver, but in the entire industry, which is pretty exciting. And we're also going to hear from some colleagues and former students. So sit back, enjoy. And right now I'd like to call Selena Grummett. She's going to be our MC for the evening. And yeah, please enjoy.
Thank you, Mel, for having me and enabling me to take part in this evening. Kudos for bringing together family, Peggy's family, friends, past grads together in this space. It truly feels like a reunion, I was just saying to Jonna. It feels so good to see you all and to share this stage with, as was mentioned, our guest speakers and presentation. But if I may as well lead the charge in terms of, you know, some more celebrating of Peggy. I too am proud of the fact that I'm a Blanche Macdonald grad, 91, circa Smythe. It shows, no, I'm kidding. And one of the things that I remember being a student and working my way through a career in fashion was always being inspired by Peggy, her knowledge, the passion that she shows in her work, and that underlying level of humor that comes along with many different facets of what we need to, you know, work our way through as instructors. A quick story, during my practicum and deciding to pivot into education, I remember my professor encouraging me to write my ideal course, and I took pencil to Dacom chart and jotted out my vision, and one day I folded that oversized draft into my pocket and brought it with me to a job interview, which inevitably ended me in a seat in front of Peggy's desk. And as she observed my, you know, chaos, she reached over without even breaking a glance from her, you know, taking in what I'd written and grabbed the phone and basically made the call that changed the trajectory of my career. So thank you. One thing I learned in that moment was to take chances, and here I am 2 decades later taking another big chance. So I've grown to appreciate working alongside you at the school, those pop-ins, the drop-bys, the chats, and you know, your insight. And I truly appreciate how selfless you are with giving your knowledge. It inspires me daily, continuously trying to, you know, work towards cultivating this craft as an educator. So thank you for leading this lane. Thank you. Thank you. And on that note, we've prepared a commemorative video for you.
I just wanted to wish you a very special congratulations celebrating 50 years of your career. We should all be so lucky. And thank you for your guidance and your mentorship from the very early stages of my career. I am so grateful that you taught us that fashion is about telling a story and there's so much more to share.
I'm truly grateful we crossed paths. You've been more than a teacher to everyone. Just know that you are loved and truly appreciated. You deserve this night, so celebrate yourself, and thank you for everything.
I'm so grateful to have you in my life, not only as a colleague, but a mentor and a friend. Whenever I run into former students, one of the number one things I get asked is, how's Peggy? Your impact on student lives for so many years has been so great, and I hope you feel all the love in the room tonight. You truly deserve it. I love you so much. All the best.
I cannot thank you enough for being part of my beginnings. You were instrumental in guiding me to where I am in my place in life, and I know that you've positively impacted many others. Your dedication to helping young designers and the community at large has paid off in extraordinary ways.
Your 50 plus years in fashion speaks for itself. You are a legend. You're an icon. You are the reason that so many people have fallen in love with clothing and fashion and pushed their careers to where they are today. Blanche McDonald is where I fell in love with fashion and where I learned all the valuable skills I needed to push my career to where it is. So thank you so much for all that you've done, and congratulations on this achievement.
Hi, Peggy. Congratulations on your anniversary at Blanche McDonald. Thank you for everything you did, and Bonjour Paris.
Thank you for 50 plus years of fashion brilliance. The young professionals entering the industry have so much to thank you for. Thank you for your support and expertise. All the best.
It's been almost 30 years since I was taught by you, and I am honored that you were my teacher. You had such knowledge, passion, dedication for fashion, and I was inspired by you. You nurtured my love for fashion shows and for fashion. I still have my projects from 1995. I can't get rid of them. I put so much love, sweat, and tears in them. I have to say, I'm honored. Thank you.
I'm forever obsessed with you and your class, and I never missed one. And thank you for igniting my passion. It's still sustaining me and driving me, and I'm still a complete fashion victim. And thanks to you, I will forever think twice before putting a white shoe with a black tie.
I just want to thank you, because I know for me personally, and I'm sure for every single life and student and every person you've been able to touch the lives of, you are a mentor to us, and you are the encouragement and the reason why a lot of us have gone after our dreams. So thank you. I love you, and I'm so honored to be a part of this evening honoring you.
Crazy to think of all of the lives and people that you have touched through your work and career as an educator, including mine. I remember walking into Blanche McDonald about 14 years ago and being a scared little boy from Trail, BC, and meeting you in your office for the first time and hearing your story brought me a lot of comfort, and I learned so much from you. There's nobody in fashion who would not be able to take your course and learn something. You are a wealth of knowledge, an encyclopedia of fashion, and I'm so grateful that now we get to be colleagues. That's crazy.
I have such fond memories of our lectures and fashion show and tells, and just every class. I honestly think of them so often even now, and I'm really just so grateful that I had you to learn from, and still have you in my life. It's just really such an honor and a blessing to see the community come together to celebrate your accomplishments and your contributions. Is just so special. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there in person, but I am just beyond happy for you, and I hope you had the best night celebrating. Congratulations again. I hope I'll see you really soon.
Thank you so much for all your years of helping shape so many of us through Blanche McDonald. We all truly appreciate you. I know on a personal level I appreciate you putting up with me all these years, even to this day.
so grateful to have you in my life as an instructor. I learned lots of great things from your class, and I'm still using them in my career as a fashion designer. I love you so much, and I wish you all the best.
Your impact on our community, whether it's locally or globally, cannot be measured. I can only speak for myself, but I will say my time with you as a student really shaped the trajectory of my entire life. And whether I'm doing wardrobe on concert tours or getting a new byline, it all started off with being your student, which really set the foundation of my love of fashion and my work ethic.
Hey Peggy, it's Joshua. I just wanted to say that it has been such an inspiration to have the chance to have learned from you, and what you've taught me has been really instrumental in my career. I think the show and tells is probably one of my favorite parts of all the little pieces of fashion history that you bring into class. So I can't think of anyone that deserves this award more, and I just want to say how much I love it.
Thank you so much.
And thank you.
Thank you. So thank you so much.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for everyone for putting that together. Special thanks to Mia. Thank you. Thank you, Mia, wherever you are, for putting that together. Beautiful job. Okay, we have some guest speakers that would like to share some words about Peggy. We're going to start with Marilyn Wilson.
I was told two things tonight. Number one, this would be a small group. Number two, that Peggy didn't know. Surprise! I don't even have notes. When I was asked to share a story, it took me a while to come up with the right story. For those who don't know, I started writing at the age of 50 when I answered some ideas off saying, New York Magazine, this will be fun. I knew nothing. We had not a lot of money. My clothes came from Zellers. For those who don't know, that's low down. My shoes came from the racks. My hair was cut by Shay Glenn. Shay Glenn is my husband, who was an air conditioning mechanic and has never learned how to cut hair. At the first interview I did, I realized I had a huge passion for interviewing people. I adore supporting people, especially artists. The first magazine folded, ran out of money, and in 2007, I connected with a photographer that wanted to start an online magazine focusing on our talent here in Vancouver. And I said, I will do it for free if I can cover design students, because like Peggy and all the people that put their time in, I consider lifting people up from the bottom so important. To encourage them from the start, they need to be given press and support and told they're doing a good job. The first Vancouver Fashion Week I walked in as media. I was escorted into the tent. Jamal treated me with great respect. I was there in my best outfit, Zellers, nice coif, Shay Glenn. Everybody kind of looked at the new woman who didn't look like she knew anything about fashion, which I didn't. And I was very fortunate. I was treated with respect from the start. When I went into the design schools, I mean, that was at Blanche, that was Peggy I met, nobody looked at my clothes. Nobody looked at my credentials. I was treated with respect. I was given the opportunity to interview their students. I was supported in what I was doing. I was thanked. I was greeted at things. Peggy, whether she knows it or not, at that time I had no role models. I had no mentors. I knew nothing. I don't know how many times she noticed me asking questions, and she never took a beat. Whatever she answered was short, sweet, to the point, and came from her great depth of knowledge. So you have no idea how much you mentored me and lifted me up. Just knowing somebody believed I could do it, that I was an asset in what I was doing, and hopefully recognized my passion, just meant the world to me. So the story, now you get the story. My magazine folded in 2012 after 5 years. I was devastated. I had no branding. I lost it all. I lost my connections. Surprisingly, people like Peggy continued to support me and continued to lift me up and let me find my feet again. And 3 whole years after my magazine folded, and this is significant for me, that's people forget you in 3 years, I published my first book. It was not on fashion, and I got a phone call from Peggy saying, I want to buy 20 copies. I want to give them to my graduating students. She still believed in me, even though I wasn't there in the same thing. And that moment meant more to me. I was suffering so much self-doubt. My first book out, Would It Be Good? And you buying books for me, I'm going to cry, meant the world to me. You have been an asset in my life. And to this day, there is never a time I see you, you don't give me a smile and a hello, no matter how you're feeling or what's going on. And I appreciate that from my heart. You're good people, and you're part of my fashion family.
Okay, how do you top that? I'm teasing. To the stage, we'd like to welcome Donna Baldock for some words, please.
I don't know how to top that, Mary. Thank you. Lovely. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And yes, Marilyn, I thought this was going to be in a room of 12 people. Okay. Okay. Well, we're celebrating Peggy Morrison, a very special lady who exemplifies fashion in every sense of the word. And I'm sorry, I'm just getting over a cold, so I hope I'm not too gravelly here. I had the great pleasure of working with Peggy for 33 years at Blanche Macdonald. We were the directors of the fashion department. We shared an office in the early years on 111 Smythe, and I'd sit on one side of the desk, she'd sit on the other, and when the sun came out, I went on the side where the sun was, and I put my sunglasses on so we could still work. And I found out that Peggy had worked at Eaton's, in Nanaimo, which is my hometown. And I know there's a couple of people from Nanaimo here, and I actually went to school with their mother. Okay. And when she worked there, and I thought, well, we probably met because that's where I shopped, was at Eaton's in Nanaimo, and mainly in the shoe department, and she was in ladies' wear. And who knew that 20 years later we would be working together? And we got to know each other really well. And it wasn't just at work. We did a lot of things outside of work, mainly fashion shows. We'd go to Vancouver Museum of Vancouver when there would be a fashion history exhibit on. And we also went out to UBC one Sunday afternoon to see a kimono presentation. That was incredible. And so we have spent a lot of time together. And one story I would like to share is one evening after work, we went to see Ivan Sayres in his home, and I was driving, and we're going along Broadway, and I took a right instead of a left, so that's fine, no problem. We went up to the address, and I was still in my car, and Peggy went up to the door, and it wasn't his house. And I'm so sorry, Peggy. I took the wrong turn. They didn't have GPS at that time. Okay, so it's a long time ago. Okay, so we were welcomed into his home to see some of his collection, a few pieces, because he had boxes everywhere. His bedroom was full of boxes from the floor to the ceiling. Oh, actually, he didn't even sleep in his bedroom. He slept in the dining room. And Ivan is an incredible man, and Peggy has known him forever. They were at university together too, at UBC. So he had china cabinets full of magazines from the early 1900s and on. And he even admitted that he kind of looked like he was a bit of a hoarder. Okay. So we listened to him while he told us how he acquired his many period pieces, and it was just fascinating. He had an 18th century stomacher that he let us hold. The weave of it was incredible, and I have slides of some from that time, and when I showed my students, I go, I saw one just like that. Ivan has one just like that. And he also had a piece of cotton that was from an Egyptian tomb, and we got to touch it without white cotton gloves, and that just sent chills up my spine, and it was just so memorable, and I was so happy to experience that with Peggy. And we've had a lot of fun over the years of teaching together and mentoring students. And as most of us know, and has been mentioned, Peggy lives and breathes fashion. She always has. It's in her DNA. Her love of music and art as well. And she has shared her knowledge and passion with students and cohorts for more than 50 years. Her knowledge of the fashion world, including models and photographers, producing fashion shows, okay, anything from a tea room show to a full ramp, and styling and accessorizing the outfits. She has suitcases of shoots. She has this fold-out thing that has every type of jewelry that you can imagine. And she can just pick and put it with the designs that the students have created. And she also taught fashion elements and fashion awareness at the school, and still does, and is very particular that students know the correct terminology of how to describe an outfit or a piece of clothing according to the four elements of fashion. It's a test. Okay. Details, silhouette, texture, and color. Her knowledge of designers throughout history is like no other. She can look at a collection or an outfit and tell you who the designer is based on the style, okay? And most likely the year, okay? So no logo necessary here. Just ask Peggy, okay? As an educator, she has had an influence on all of her students. As a cohort, she has influenced everyone she has worked with, and this continues today. When I think of Peggy, words that come to mind are amazing, brilliant, passionate, dedicated, stylish. I could go on. I was thinking of doing one for every letter of the alphabet, but I thought this is only a 4-minute speech. Okay. But one that really stands out for me is friend. You're my friend. And even though I'm retired, okay, Peggy and I talk every 2 weeks. We set up a time and we have a phone visit. And we can go for lunch periodically, and we stay connected. She is remembered on her birthday. She'll receive a call from a graduate from how many years ago? Decades ago. And it's like, it's a miss. I don't think he's missed a day. Okay. And when one is shopping, no matter where, and this is anywhere in the world, an item that reminds them of Peggy, they will purchase and give it as a gift to her to put into her collection for show and tell. Peggy truly represents the definition of impact. Impact being a strong effect of influence on a situation or a person, a force of impression. This well-deserved recognition is a testament to the positive impact you have made on so many of your students and those in the fashion community. Peggy, this award is a reflection of your exceptional talent, your unwavering devotion, and the passion you radiate when you share your stories. I congratulate you, my friend.
Thank you, Donna. Okay, our last guest to speak is someone who's traveled afar to come and see us to honor Peggy. We welcome Carol Ann Ransaw.
Yes, I flew in from New York last night. When I heard Peggy was getting an award, I was very excited because all I remember is coming from Edmonton and wanting to be something in film. I tried acting, but I could never remember my lines. So I was like, I still want to do this. So let me decide what I want to do. So I decided to do makeup. So I took this course, Blanche McDonald School for Applied Design. And I met this woman and she came in with these bangs and these beautiful blue eyes. And I was like, oh, I want to be her. And all I remember is that the impact that you've had on my life is amazing. I worked on Law and Order, Gossip Girl in New York City, and now I'm a chef, hence the burns. I didn't cover them up. And so anyways, so I just wanted to say thank you because I remember this wheel that we had in the class. It was autumn, fall, winter, spring, and summer. And you always held it up to my face. And we were always trying to figure out what season I was. And I never felt like I really belonged. But finally, you just held it up and you said, you can be any season you want, Carol Ann. And so thank you for allowing me to be every season I want and moving on. And I remember your words, blend and check your work in the mirror, which I always do. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much to all our guest speakers for sharing your stories. They're heartfelt. And it's infinitely clear that Peggy, you've been successful at bringing out the best in all of us. I'd like to take a moment now to invite Lana Papa, Minister of Tourism, Art, Culture, and Sport, along with Jamal, the Fashion Week's founder, there you are, to present the Person of Impact Award.
Thank you, Jamal. Good evening, everybody. I am so pleased to be here on the territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people, and I'm so grateful to be here on a night that's honoring someone so amazing. So I have a letter on behalf of the Premier of British Columbia, David Eby, and myself, Minister of Arts and Culture, to say congratulations on an amazing career, and thank you for all you've given here in British Columbia.
That would be good right now.
This. I'm glad I gave up wearing false lashes about 20 years ago. They would be here. Now, this was a complete surprise to me until last Wednesday. So thank you to my cohorts and colleagues who managed to keep this a complete secret from me, which is not easy. You deserve a special award for that. And thank you, Jamal and Mel. It's pretty sneaky stuff. I'm amazed to see people here tonight. I had no idea we're going to be here. It's exciting and thrilling. And of course, I've now written pages of notes. And no one gave me a time limit. But I wanted to say first off, this is not a retirement speech. Yeah. And anyway, and I also wrote, it's my speech and I'll say what I want to. So, some of it might not be appropriate, I don't care. So upon hearing the word impact used and what the award would be, I, of course, immediately Googled it. I mean, I know what it means, but the first words I read were collision, concussion, and shock. And I thought, no, that doesn't sound quite right. Reading further, it said to affect, to influence, to touch. And that's the word I like the most. And by the way, initially hearing about this, my first thought, this is just typical of me, was why? Why me? And then I thought about it and thought, why not me? So here we are. You know, and in my mind, this is all just about doing my job. And I realized thinking, it's been a lot of thinking. A former employee of mine used to always say, did it hurt? The thinking. And there were, of course, rushes of memories about people and classes and parts of my career that people don't kind of remember, like pre-teaching in a major way at Blanche Macdonald and other schools. There's a lengthy few years of nothing but models, agencies, fashion shows, styling, huge shows all the time. Let me just collect my thoughts here for a sec. Sorry. Out here. So listening to your wonderful tributes, of course, is amazing and touching. And it's not as if I did this by myself. Okay, I have had incredible people working with me, and of course, people make, and it works both ways, an impact constantly on me, and always have. Students do, people do. And I thought maybe it would be fun, you'll have to decide, to write a series or make a series of comments that are about people who've had a great impact on my life. And I'm not mentioning any names, so it'll be like a guessing game. You'll have to watch faces in the room. Just a few people. And I thought I should include my parents. So my mother, every year, early morning on my birthday, would wake me up, a phone call, and say these words exactly, forever. To say, however many years ago today, I had a little baby girl, and I was the happiest woman in the world. And then when she got older and a bit cranky, she would add to that, and now I'm the most miserable. My daddy, from my autograph book, just a shorter version, some of you have heard this before, wrote,
be nobody else but you. Here's a poem. Roses are red, violets are blue. Some girls are cute. What happened to you? Written in my autograph book by a high school admirer, still in my life and present in the room tonight. Words of a specific advanced piano teacher after hearing my rendition of, I can't remember, something by Chopin, said in front of my mother and my regular piano teacher, I think what this young lady needs is a passionate love affair. That had impact that on a few people. In a letter from literally the world's leading model agent in New York City, your photos are very nice, but I'm afraid you're a little too short for us. To which I replied in my head, what does she know? And kept on plugging, which led me in a different direction, but that was why I kept on plugging. There. Okay. A constant thought shared with I always called her my favorite fashion show date, where we would talk about clutching hands in the front row while looking at the most atrocious stuff so often. And we'd say to each other things like, this outfit cries out for a scarf or a whatever accessory. Remembered fondly from a special and much loved colleague of many years, referred to as my partner in crime. Divide and conquer and make every minute count. Important facts from a dear friend and award-winning makeup artist, great renown. Dracula has a scar on his forehead. It's from a shovel. Everyone knows that. Really? I did not know that. Now you all know that. And a very long ago student who's had a very important impact on my life and career. Peg loves to be reminded that I had the worst attendance ever. I wish I could mention names. Okay. If this were the Oscars, the orchestra would be trying to get me to leave, and there'd be a monitor saying, wrap it up. You could have a sign. So I need to do that. There's so much I need to say and so many people to thank. And I'll go there. People to thank. Thank you to everyone who believed in me, encouraged me, supported me, protected me, and rescued me, and loved me, and listened to my lectures, but called them stories because that's what I like to think I do, and put up with the ones about pets and the cat pictures. Thank you to the people who hired me, fired me, and inspired me. And thank you all for being here to help me share this wonderful moment. Seriously, in my life, I think that's all I need to say. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Keep it together. Thank you, Jamal and Lana, for the presentation. Can we give a round of applause to Vancouver Fashion Week for giving us this platform? Thank you to the team. We appreciate you. Our Blanche McDonald team. Oh my goodness. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Students, graduates for joining us. We love you and good night.
If everyone can just stay where they are, we're going to take a really short break as we clear the stage for the fashion shows. Please take your seats. The show's about to begin. please take your seats. We're starting the show. The show is starting. Please take a seat. Old-fashioned standards. Cassie, hello, Cassie, I'm talking to you. Here, please. Want to say Catherine and Lily here? Can I get you on the stage for a moment? Hi, surprise. You're the winner of our Nancy Mack Award. I'm going to let Lily explain this to you.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. So I'm honored to be here to help with our Ministry of Arts and Culture to give out this award. A little history on Nancy Mack. I've known her since we were 4. She lost her battle to cancer, but she has always been impactful for and inspiring for fashion. She was in clothing, she designed. I used to travel with her to all the magic shows in Vegas, a lot of stuff. And another talent that was just sorely missed by everybody. I produce film and television, and I was producing a short film, and I said, hey, do you want to design? And she did, and she was nominated for a Leo before I was. So I'm just putting it out there. So it's great to have this honor to be able to give out this award to help inspiring and emerging designers such as yourself. It carries on her legacy, so I'm honored to be here to present that to you.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. So Cassie will be traveling with Global Fashion Collective and getting to showcase her collection in Japan. So congratulations, Cassie. I think Minister Popham was happy to present the award, and I don't think she wanted to say anything. So thank you. I think we're good. We're going to carry on with our next show, who is Lisa Gladek. We're going to take a break and come back with more fashions momentarily.